Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower than low price.
Good evening. I'm Eli Capilouto, President of the University of Kentucky. I'm honored to join you in celebrating the outstanding achievements of our alumni and preceptors at the UK College of Pharmacy. Tonight, we recognize the impactful contributions of Drs. Carol Gallagher, Samuel Poliak, and Danielle Griggs to the pharmacy profession. Their careers, marked by leadership, innovation, and profound impacts on healthcare, embody the excellence we strive to instill in all of our graduates. Carol's visionary work in biopharmaceuticals, Samuel's influential research and leadership in pharmacy education, and Danielle's transformative role in healthcare management illustrate what the University of Kentucky is all about as we prepare students for lives of meaning and purpose. We also honor our exceptional preceptors, including Drs. Elizabeth Autry, Shelley Roberts, Tara Neitzel, William Reeser, and Kelly Carrick, who have dedicated themselves to mentoring the next generation of pharmacists. By volunteering your time and sharing your wisdom, you ensure our students graduate as skilled, compassionate caregivers ready to lead their fields. The value of your mentorship is vital, and it is the cornerstone of our educational mission, preparing students to excel in their careers. To all our honorees, your achievements resonate beyond your immediate contributions as you inspire future generations of our students. Your mentorship highlights the significant impact one individual can have in the lives of many. On behalf of the entire campus, thank you for your dedication to excellence. You not only raise the standards of practice and leadership, but also enhance the reputation and impact of our institution around the world. Thank you for embodying the spirit of the Wildcat family. Enjoy this well-deserved celebration.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight for this celebration of our alumni and preceptors. They and you are a testament to the sense of community we have here within the college and the importance of that in continuing to drive advancing the profession, both in the basic science side and in the clinic. For over 150 years, our college has produced world-class and leading pharmacy practitioners, educators, and researchers. We've pioneered new treatments and new paradigms of treatment and preventative measures, bringing hope and healing to countless patients in our Commonwealth, our nation, and around the globe. Tonight, we're here to honor the impact of our community, alumni, and preceptors and supporters who propelled us to the forefront of these fields. Their dedication fuels our ongoing mission to advance healthcare. So let's take a moment to enjoy the evening, share a meal, appreciate the company of our fellow alumni and friends, and after dinner, we'll start back up again with our formal program. Thank you.
Nutella biscuits, a delicious combination that just has to be.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Please continue to go ahead and eat as we move on to the next part of our award ceremony this evening. I'm Holly Devine. I'm the Director of External Studies, which is the office that's responsible for the experiential education portion of our PharmD curriculum. And I too want to welcome you to tonight's celebration. The college has a long-standing history of recognizing excellence in precepting for individuals who partner with us to administer 1/3 of the Doctor of Pharmacy program through experiential learning. We have celebrated a Preceptor of the Year since 1986. Those preceptors were educators in rotations in the final year of pharmacy school that we now refer to as Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experiences, or APPEs, and also with the Louisville Clinical Education Center that was added in 2008. Over time, the college has expanded experiential learning to include additional regional collaborations and experiences and earlier opportunities that are called Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experiences, or IPPEs, as we call them. To ensure that excellence in precepting is recognized across all of our experiential coursework, we expanded our Preceptor of the Year awards in 2022 to the following categories: Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience, Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience, Commonwealth Experience Rotation, New Preceptor, and the Christopher Miller Louisville Clinical Education Center. And in some years, we do honor a Lifetime Achievement Award. At this time, I'd like to invite all of the previous UK College of Pharmacy Preceptors of the Year from 1986 to 2023 who are present this evening to please stand and be recognized. Our 2024 Hall of Distinguished Preceptors are all initially nominated by student pharmacists who've completed experiential courses with these individuals. Additional criteria for excellence includes a dedication to preceptor development, a willingness to provide multiple experiential opportunities, and evidence of quality from student evaluations. Tonight, our first preceptor inductee receives the Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Award for Excellence in Precepting APPEs and was nominated by the PY4 graduating class. Dr. Elizabeth Autry graduated from the University of North Carolina Eshelman School of Pharmacy in Chapel Hill. After graduation, she undertook a pharmacy practice residency at ECU Health in Greenville, North Carolina. With a growing interest in pediatric pharmacy, she moved to Lexington for a pediatric specialty residency under the guidance of Dr. Robert Kuhn at UK Healthcare and Kentucky Children's Hospital. Completing her specialty training led Dr. Autry to accept a position as a pediatric clinical pharmacist. She specializes in pediatric pulmonary medicine and works across inpatient and outpatient settings. Her role has expanded to include pediatric allergy and immunology clinical services. In addition to her clinical duties, Dr. Autry holds adjunct appointments at the University of Kentucky Colleges of Pharmacy and Medicine, illustrating her dedication to the education of students and residents. She has taken on numerous educational roles, such as preceptor, advisor, mentor, and most notably has become the residency program director for the PGY2 Pediatric Pharmacy at UK Healthcare and Kentucky Children's Hospital. Dr. Autry has mentored countless students over the past decade. She actively promotes student engagement through shadowing opportunities, informally and formally, via student organizations like PediaCats. Her commitment to fostering student growth is further evidenced by her mentoring role for students interested in a residency path. Over the years, she has demonstrated that experiential learning enriches future pharmacist training and ensures learners' success under her guidance. One of Dr. Autry's nominating student pharmacists said this: "Dr. Autry is highly committed to the learning of her students and gives us the opportunity to learn by completing tasks and solving problems on our own. She is always there for backup when needed, but really allows us to step into the role of the pharmacist. I can confidently say this opportunity has made me better prepared to be a pharmacist and help build my confidence in clinical decision making." I've personally worked with Dr. Autry in our experiential program where she serves as a member of our Preceptor Advisory Committee. I've also had the privilege of seeing her investment in our colleagues through preceptor development activities. She's a tremendous resource to our program, giving us valuable insight on how best to educate our future pharmacists and our fellow preceptors. Please join me in recognizing the 2024 Advanced Pharmacy Practice Experience Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Elizabeth Autry.
My goodness, what an honor. I was certainly touched when Dr. Devine sent me that email, need 5 minutes to chat. Immediately think, oh my goodness, what's going on? But responded back, and I've got good news for you. So I picked up the phone, gave her a call, and I just stopped where I was in the hallway in like complete shock and complete honor to receive this award. We're reflecting at the table kind of my first precepting adventure at the University of Kentucky. It was during my residency training. Very first rotation in the NICU, here's an APPE student. And seeing that initial mentoring and experience that I had led me to other precepting adventures during my residency year. Once I took my position, I knew I wanted to continue to provide that learning opportunity. I think my very first APPE student is Mallory McGee, who's now kind of pseudo-boss to me now. And the growth and trajectory that I've had with students, I have those moments in my career of precepting that I've got them to their finish line. I help them reach their goal. Kind of halfway through my precepting journey, I had a student kind of early on that said, I think I want to do residency. And I said, well, that's going to be our goal. So probably my first taste of ResCat before it was ResCat, and sat down and we're going to get you a research project. We're going to finesse your CV. We're going to practice interviewing. And then that individual got their first choice residency right down the road. So it was that moment of like, this is why I do what I do. For student education and the ongoing opportunities I've been able to have and translating that to resident education and so forth. So of kudos I've received in my career, honestly, this is certainly the highlight and a true honor to be recognized for this.
Dr. Autry is correct. Usually when they see my name pop up on the caller ID, it's a little bit concerning. So I always start by saying, this is good news. These are good things. So congratulations, Dr. Autry. Well, to introduce our next inductee, I would like to welcome Dr. Gavin Howington, Associate Professor, to the podium.
Got it. Thank you, Dr. Devine. So it's my pleasure to introduce our next award winner. So we have Dr. Kelly Carrick, who receives the New Preceptor of the Year award, which is presented to a pharmacist who has been precepting UK pharmacy students for less than 5 years. The recipient is nominated by PY1 through PY4 students. Raised in Olympia, Kentucky, and a Bath County High School graduate, Dr. Carrick began his path to a career in pharmacy with pre-pharmacy courses at the University of Kentucky as well as the Morehead State University. After earning his degree from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy in 2014, he began his community pharmacy career in Campton, Kentucky. The following year, he advanced to the role of pharmacist in charge at Whitaker Pharmacy at Mount Sterling, Kentucky, where he implemented immunization protocols, as well as he expanded non-sterile compounding business. Additionally, Dr. Carrick developed a medication synchronization program that benefits over 400 patients and enhances medication compliance. Currently, he works with students to broaden clinical services through medical billing. Since 2018, Dr. Carrick has been a preceptor for various stages of pharmacy students, including introductory and advanced pharmacy practice experiences. He takes great joy in mentoring students, aiming to highlight the merits of independent community pharmacy. He also involves students in various projects, from vaccine clinics to the development of new clinical protocols. Dr. Carrick is dedicated to helping students become competent pharmacists capable of driving the profession to new heights. Specifically, Dr. Carrick's nominating student pharmacist said that, "I would like to nominate Dr. Carrick for Preceptor of the Year for his professionalism, striving for his patients' well-being, and encouraging students to be their best. He has, sorry y'all, he was great to have as a mentor for the last 20 hours, and I will always remember his kindness. He showed me how one can still keep learning past school outside of CEs in a creative way while still ensuring his students were given a chance to show their knowledge. I have personally known Dr. Carrick for approximately 16 years. He and I attended undergrad together at Morehead State University and subsequently started pharmacy school in 2010. We have remained friends even after graduating, and I've actually had to dust off the cobwebs a couple times to fill in at Whitaker Pharmacy, where he currently works, to help out, of course. I can think of no one more deserving for this award, and I'm so very happy for him and happy that the College of Pharmacy has preceptors like Dr. Carrick. Please join me in recognizing the 2024 New Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Kelly Carrick.
Thank you, Gavin. So I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have received this honor from the College of Pharmacy. I want to thank the college for sending me so many wonderful students over the last few years and for giving me a chance to give back to the profession. Our pharmacy is grateful for all the work that the College of Pharmacy does for our profession, and we appreciate the opportunity to help further the education of our students. I'd like to also thank my team at Whitaker Pharmacy. They also play a large role in helping to create a good learning environment for our students, and the work they do with the students makes my job easier. Also want to thank my former preceptors, many who are still taking students. They set an excellent example for myself. I was very fortunate to have great teachers during all of my rotations, and I want to try to pass that knowledge on that was gained to my students. And lastly, I'd like to thank all my former students, as they've all been a blessing to have at our site. I think the best part about being a preceptor is the relationships you build with all the future pharmacists. It's exciting to follow their careers and see their progress within the profession. I also enjoy learning from my students. They help keep me up to date with all the ever-changing standards of care, and it's always bittersweet when one of our students moves on. But we always know they'll have a successful career. Whitaker Pharmacy and I look forward to being involved with precepting for many more years to come. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Carrick. To introduce our next inductee, I welcome Dr. Janet Mills, Assistant Professor, Louisville Clinical Education Center Coordinator, and member of our experiential faculty.
Hello. Our third inductee receives the Commonwealth Experience Rotation Award for Excellence in Precepting Student Pharmacists in Rural or Medically Underserved Areas or Populations of the Commonwealth. Every UK student must complete a Commonwealth Experience Rotation to apply the college's curricular learning outcomes for medically underserved populations and communities, health disparities, culturally diverse populations, and rural health inpatient care practice. Dr. Tara Neitzel was born in Painesville, Kentucky, and raised in Virginia Beach, Virginia. She returned to Kentucky to complete her undergraduate studies at the University of Kentucky, where she also earned her Doctor of Pharmacy degree in 2012. Dr. Neitzel furthered her professional training with a PGY1 residency at Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center in Danville, where she began her career journey as a clinical staff pharmacist. Her dedication and hard work led her to become a board certified in pharmacotherapy, fulfilling a significant professional goal. In her role at Ephraim McDowell, Dr. Neitzel precepted residents in emergency medicine rotations. Her commitment to education and mentorship was further recognized in 2018 when she was appointed PGY1 Residency Program Director. Dr. Neitzel's passion for education shines through her efforts to ensure that students receive thorough orientation, clear expectations, and access to essential resources during their learning experiences. Her journey reflects a deep commitment to nurturing the next generation of pharmacy professionals. One of Dr. Neitzel's nominating student pharmacists said this: "Dr. Neitzel took a lot of time preparing our schedule to include our interest areas. Not only that, but she was constantly available to ask questions and would provide feedback and give examples on how to improve, not only on things like your CV, but also how to study and retain knowledge based on a student's learning style. During our time there, they even had an info session for all the pharmacists to let them know the different types of APPE and residency students they would see. And they gave detailed info based on data on how to help each individual student based on what category they fit in. Overall, Dr. Neitzel worked hard to make a unique experience for each student based on the patient's goals and their current knowledge base, and would help provide feedback and opinions on how to improve or study." And personally, I can share in our external studies department, we've worked closely with Dr. Neitzel this year, and she's really gone above and beyond, helped us with some students that were having some challenges, really opened our door, and has been a true mentor to them. So please join me in recognizing the 2024 Commonwealth Experience Rotation Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Tara Neitzel.
All right, well, mine will be short and sweet. I just want to thank the college so much. This was very shocking. It's kind of like being a parent. I can't believe that I'm trusted with teaching these people. As a preceptor, it's hard to believe that I am not a student myself still. The thing that I was most proud of is, especially with working in a rural community hospital, that these students are coming and having a great experience and seeing that you can provide innovative and high quality care in that setting. So that makes me especially proud. So thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Neitzel. Our fourth inductee receives the Christopher Miller Louisville Clinical Education Center Award for Excellence in Precepting APPE students. Since 2006, the college has partnered with Norton Healthcare to establish this regional CEC to expand pharmacy experiential learning opportunities for student pharmacists to complete their APPE rotations in the Louisville area in their PY4 year. A UK College of Pharmacy faculty member is the clinical training coordinator based at Norton Healthcare in Louisville, which is the position that I currently hold. The first coordinator, Dr. Chris Miller, was instrumental in establishing the CEC and developing a robust experiential program in this region, which over 250 students have completed. Dr. Miller and his family have joined us for this evening. Dr. Miller, will you please stand and be recognized at this time? Originally from Louisville, Kentucky, Dr. William Reeser began his career at the University of Kentucky, obtaining a Doctor of Pharmacy degree in 2014. His journey continued with a PGY1 residency at Robley Rex Veteran Affairs Medical Center in Louisville, leading to a role in the inpatient pharmacy, and subsequently the position of ICU pharmacist in 2019. Throughout his career, Dr. Reeser has valued the opportunity to mentor pharmacy students. His approach to precepting is rooted in two fundamental principles: translating academic knowledge into practical skills and integrating it into a team dynamic, which is especially critical in the ICU's multidisciplinary environment. He believes a preceptor's role is to teach and model these skills, showing how to apply them in real-world settings. Dr. Reeser champions effective precepting as personalized, catering to each trainee's unique interests, abilities, and aspirations. He strives to make complex concepts understandable, encourages critical thinking, and fosters initiative. He finds joy in mentoring students from diverse backgrounds, especially those not initially directed toward acute care, and appreciates the mutual benefits of such mentorship. He believes in the medical principle of treating the patient rather than the symptoms to inspire a passion for lifelong learning and development in the pharmacy profession. Reeser is committed to continuing his mentorship, hoping to impact positively the careers of many future pharmacists. One of Dr. Reeser's nominating student pharmacists said this: "Out of all the preceptors I have had while at UK, I have not had one come close to being as engaging as Dr. Reeser. From day one, I could see he genuinely cared that I got something out of this rotation. I learned so many things each and every day. We had very engaging conversations, and he would challenge me to look into something every evening to discuss the next day. He was not just a preceptor, but became a mentor. This experience has definitely positively impacted my future as a pharmacist." Please join me in recognizing the 2024 Christopher Miller Louisville CEC Preceptor of the Year, Dr. William Reeser. And unfortunately, Dr. Reeser could not join us this evening to accept his award, but he sends his best regards to the group. So congratulations to Dr. Reeser. To introduce our next inductee, I welcome Dr. Adrian Madsen, Adjunct Assistant Professor and member of our experiential faculty.
Thank you, Janet. Our fifth and final 2024 inductee into the Hall of Distinguished Preceptors will receive the Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience Award for precepting IPPEs. IPPE courses include 3-week immersion rotations and longitudinal IPPEs embedded throughout the semester during the students' PY1, PY2, and PY3 years. Dr. Shelley Roberts, a native of Parkersburg, West Virginia, arrived in Kentucky in 2002 to attend the University of Kentucky, where she completed her undergraduate and professional studies. Earning a PharmD degree in 2008 from the UK College of Pharmacy marked a pivotal moment in her life, academically and personally, as she met Lindsay Roberts, her pharmacy classmate and future husband. Their love for the Bluegrass region inspired them to make Lexington their home. Dr. Roberts began her career at Kmart Pharmacy, rising to the pharmacy manager position. Seeking to innovate within the retail pharmacy sector, Roberts and her husband opened Grassroots Pharmacy in Lexington, a venture that reflects on their vision for pharmacy that prioritizes wellness and overall well-being. Dr. Roberts champions a holistic approach to health, advocating for healthcare model that integrates nutrition, exercise, supplement knowledge, and root cause analysis to enhance patient outcomes. As the Roberts became deeply embedded in the Lexington community, they founded the Grassroots Running Club. This nonprofit organization supports youth running programs in Central Kentucky. They have coached over 150 elementary school students in cross country and track and field at Liberty Elementary in Lexington, and assist other schools in expanding their running programs. With nearly a decade of experience in precepting students, Dr. Roberts finds great satisfaction in mentoring the next generation of pharmacists. She is committed to enriching the educational journey by emphasizing the profession's intricacies and the significance of advocacy. One of Dr. Roberts' nominating student pharmacists acknowledged her dedication to experiential learning and said this: Dr. Shelley Roberts is a phenomenal preceptor. She creates an environment where students feel comfortable and confident in working autonomously. Every day, Dr. Roberts taught me something new, ranging from how to apply for a business loan and setting up contracts for a pharmacy, to the role of functional medicine and nutritional supplements for patient health. Her patients trust her and come to her when seeking medical advice. She always greets them with the biggest smile. Dr. Roberts is truly the epitome of what every student pharmacist should strive to become, and she is a huge advocate for the advancement of the pharmacy profession. Please join me in recognizing the 2024 Introductory Pharmacy Practice Experience Preceptor of the Year, Dr. Shelley Roberts. Unfortunately, Dr. Roberts also could not be with us tonight, but sends her best wishes and congratulations to all the awardees this evening. I will now turn the podium over to Dean Guy to introduce tonight's alumni inductees.
Or actually introduce the introducers for the inductees. So I just want to start by congratulating all the preceptors who were brought into the Hall of Distinguished Preceptors this year. So welcome to the club. Thanks for all the hard work you've done from the college, and particularly for guiding our students out into their own successful careers. We really appreciate your generosity and your work with us. So for our first inductee, I would like to hand over to Dr. Penny Black, Associate Professor and Director of Professional Studies.
Thank you, Dean Guy. I also want to share my congratulations to all the preceptors of the year. You guys make me look good on the backside, so I appreciate it. Danielle Griggs has served as the Chief Pharmacy Officer at UVA Health since October 2023. In this role, she leads expansive pharmacy services across 4 medical centers in Virginia. Her promotion to this crucial role underscores her dedication and skill in steering over 500 frontline pharmacy team members. Pharmacy services at UVA Health are pivotal in delivering critical medications to patients throughout Central and Northern Virginia, a task of immense responsibility and impact on community health. Dr. Griggs has demonstrated significant contributions to leadership growth at UVA Health, illustrating her deep commitment to pharmacy excellence. She adeptly managed medication procurement and drug expense management, broadening her scope to include medication formulary oversight, clinical and operational program management, and addressing drug shortages and compliance operations. Her promotion in 2019 to Senior Director of Pharmacy, becoming responsible for the health system's pharmacy business operations, is a testament to her effective management and visionary leadership. Dr. Griggs received a Doctor of Pharmacy and Master of Business Administration degree from UK in 2014, complemented by a health systems pharmacy administration residency at another Blue School, where she also earned a Master of Science degree. Her focus on innovative patient care solutions, pharmacy operational excellence, and team development underscores her commitment to enhancing healthcare delivery across Virginia. The Young Alumni Award recognizes a leader who has shown remarkable achievements and success within 10 years of graduation. Dr. Griggs is a shining example of the caliber of graduates we aspire to cultivate in our college. I will note that it seems that the 2014 class at the University College of Pharmacy has done really great things. And so I applaud all of you going forward tonight. Danielle was my ROCI president. ROCI is the Nerdy Pharmacy Honor Society, so I never had a 4.0. Danielle probably had a bazillion of them. It was always a pleasure. I remember coming in the office the first time as the new ROCI president and shaking in her boots. And I'm like, honey, I never had a 4.0. You're miles ahead of where I was at this point. So this is like super special for me to be able to award this to Danielle, and please join me in congratulating her.
Good evening, fellow awardees, esteemed faculty, Dean Guy, family, and friends. What an incredible honor it is to be here this evening to accept the Young Alumni Award. This evening is not just special for me, but also for all of the distinguished awardees who are being celebrated, including some of my fellow classmates. To be included alongside those who have achieved so much is truly humbling. As I reflect on my professional journey, I would be remiss to not acknowledge the influence that independent community pharmacy practice had on the start of my career. I spent my college summers in my hometown of Greenup, Kentucky, working at an independent community pharmacy called Stultz Pharmacy. Here is where I learned early on the operational mechanics of a community pharmacy. More importantly, though, I witnessed and personally benefited from how the pharmacy impacts those in the community, and learned how a pharmacist is often the most accessible healthcare provider, especially in rural Kentucky. It's because of those that care deeply about serving their communities and inspire others to serve that led me to a career in pharmacy and leadership. Little did I know at the time where this path in pharmacy would lead. My interest in exploring pharmacy as a career brought me to the UK College of Pharmacy, where I took advantage of a dual degree program, earning my MBA as well. It was during this busy time full of challenges and growth where I learned to balance the rigor of academia and the joy of exploring new horizons. And this program opened my mind to how I might choose a path using both pharmacy and business degrees, and thus began my interest into health system pharmacy administration and leadership. After graduation, I embarked on further training at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, although I never rooted for them. Including a 2-year residency and master's degree in health system pharmacy administration and leadership. Upon completion of residency, I joined UVA Health, where I have had the privilege of progressing through several roles, each with unique challenges and opportunities, and contributing and growing in ways I would not have thought possible when I was working summers at Stultz Pharmacy. In my role now, I support teams across 4 hospitals, 9 retail pharmacies, 5 infusion pharmacies, home infusion, specialty, and home delivery, and serve patients in our local community throughout Virginia and surrounding states. I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by incredible people every step of the way, from professors who encouraged and inspired, to classmates and co-residents who became lifelong friends. I'm fortunate to have an outstanding leadership team that I have the privilege of working with every day. And I've had mentors that have provided guidance, refined my skills, widened my perspectives, and supported my professional growth from the UK College of Pharmacy, from the UNC residency program, and at UVA Health. So much of my success is attributed to the people that have been there all along the way. I also want to recognize the importance of family in reaching this success. My husband, who couldn't be here this evening, Adam, has been my supporter, cheerleader, and sometimes after-work therapist. We have a 1.5-year-old son who has brought an entirely new level of joy and sleep deprivation into our lives. And I'm also joined this evening by family members who have supported me throughout this journey. My family's unwavering support has been the foundation for overcoming every challenge and celebrating every success, and is the cornerstone of these achievements. Looking back over the past 10+ years, this journey has taught me the value of hard work, the importance of community, and that leadership is about lifting others up around you. I'm beyond grateful for this recognition, and I have to say, the real reward has been the journey itself, the lessons learned, the friendships made, the teams I've worked with, and the patients we've served. So thank you to those that have been a part of this journey. In closing, I want to express how truly honored I am to receive this award, not just for what it represents in terms of achievement, but for what it says about the value of education, community, and service. I spent 2 years in North Carolina and now 8 years in Virginia, but Kentucky will always be my home, and I'll cheer on the Cats from near and far. So here's to all the outstanding awardees this evening and to all of those that have supported each of our journeys. Thank you.
Congratulations, Danielle. Well deserved. Our next inductee will receive the PharmD Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award and will be introduced by Joe Mashty. So, Joe.
Thank you, Dean Guy, and also congratulations on all the winners tonight. My name is Dr. Joe Mashty. Graduate from a BS degree in 1991 and a PharmD in 1992. And I'm currently a representative of the UK College of Pharmacy with the UK Alumni Association in the Leadership Advisory Council. And also, you know, in this role, it helps us kind of get close together and have great partners with the university, and also with Christina Yu, who's also with us tonight, and want to welcome her, and a great partner being with the university. And it kind of showcases us and represents the College of Pharmacy with the university and all our winnings and successes that we've had in showcasing it with the university. So, but today I'm honored to introduce a fellow alumni who I was a student back working toward my degree when she was going through her success avenue. Dr. Carol Gallagher received a BS degree and a Doctor of Pharmacy degree in 1989. Since then, she has become a distinguished figure in the biopharmaceutical sector, most recently serving as a partner in global venture capital at New Enterprise Associates Incorporated. Dr. Gallagher is a proven entrepreneur, an investor with over 30 years of experience in drug and business development roles. Since 2014, her focus has been in biopharma investments, where she leveraged her expertise across various therapeutic areas and stages of development. Before Enterprise Associates, Dr. Gallagher held a venture partner position at Frazier Healthcare and served as an independent director on the boards of several groundbreaking biopharma companies, where her strategic insight and industry experience contributed significantly to their success. From 2008 to 2011, Dr. Gallagher was the president and CEO of Calistoga Pharmaceuticals, where she led the development and successful acquisition of the first-in-class cancer therapeutic, CAL-101, now called Zetalig by Gilead Sciences. In addition to leading Calistoga Pharmaceuticals to a successful exit, she has served in critical roles with Amgen, Pfizer, and Eli Lilly. Please join me in recognizing the 2023 PharmD Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Dr. Carol Gallagher. Dr. Gallagher could not join us this evening, but sent this message from afar.
Hello, I'm Carol Gallagher, and I have such gratitude for the recognition of this award of joining the Hall of Distinguished Alumni of the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy. I grew up in Kentucky. I was the 5th generation to live on our farm in Shelby County. and my relatives have been in Kentucky since the 1790s. It was an agribusiness, as many are in Kentucky, and I learned a lot about how to run a small business growing up in that environment. But I was also very interested in science, and although no one in my family had pursued medicine, I became very interested in medicines. But I'm going to get there. Initially, though, I thought that I would pursue a degree in chemistry and an MBA and work in the business of chemicals. I went to Vanderbilt University and started to study chemistry and found that, and not all people think this, but I found that organic chemistry and biochemistry was much more interesting than inorganic chemistry. And that led me to how are medicines made? How do they affect people? I really didn't know how to get into the business of medicines, and certainly in the pharmaceutical industry, which I thought would be an interesting career, I had no idea how to pursue that type of career. But I decided that perhaps if you understood the chemistry of medicines, the pharmacology of medicines, how they transport through the body, pharmacokinetics, if I started to understand those basic underpinnings of medicine and how medicines work, then perhaps that would set me up for a potential career in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, I believe that the College of Pharmacy at University of Kentucky actually prepares students for many careers, for many paths, and that's what's so attractive. And the national and international recognition, even way back then, when I started in 1986 at the pharmacy school, it was already associated with prestige. It's very important for us to develop pharmacists to take care of direct patient care. And I have to say that was one of the most important things that I did learn while I was in the College of Pharmacy, was it's important to remember, how do we help the patient? And of course, working in community pharmacy or hospital pharmacy, it's very much more day to day, you see the patient. But I decided to take a different path, still being patient driven, but to think much more about how drugs are developed and ultimately get to those patients and get to those pharmacies. I have been fortunate to have nearly a 35-year career in and around the biopharma industry. The first 20 years, I was involved in drug development roles, including becoming CEO of a small biotech company that now Gilead acquired, and that's an approved drug today for certain cancer patients. One of the really tremendous opportunities I had in my career was to be the team leader of Rituxan, the very first therapeutic monoclonal antibody to be approved. And think how many antibodies we have today. Of course, it takes a whole team to impact patient care. And that's true in drug development as well. It's really a team effort. And I feel fortunate to have been a small part of many of those teams, more recently as a board member of companies such as Turning Point or Mirati, who have developed targeted therapies. Another company, Aragon, that J&J acquired, that developed a prostate cancer drug. All of these opportunities to be involved in patient care, not as direct as many of the people I'm probably speaking to today, not as directly as many of you, but still with the same heart and with the belief that it does take a village. Again, I have tremendous gratitude for this recognition. It's very special to me. My parents, now deceased, I think would be very proud. I also really appreciate that my siblings gave me lots of opportunities. I'm the youngest, and gave me a lot of help along the way. And of course, my husband, my spouse, who was always there and always supportive as I navigated through this career. There are so many people at the College of Pharmacy who helped me along the way, but I would be remiss if I didn't particularly mention my gratitude for one particular person, and that's Dr. Joe Fink. He was a wonderful mentor, a connector, long before there were LinkedIn or the internet or cell phones. He was always connecting people, helping people along the way, and even many times after I left the college. And hopefully I've been able to continue to connect and help others as well. I again appreciate so much the opportunity to speak with you today and to express my gratitude and my thanks, and particularly to Dean Kip Guy, who I think has done a wonderful job in continuing to advance the prestige of both our pharmacy and graduate program. Thank you again.
I'm tempted to see if Henry and I can get away with switching roles, since we're dressed almost exactly the same, and you'll see a third twin coming up in just a second. So if Carol were here, I would enjoy congratulating her directly. They're off enjoying life, and we're unable to come back from Europe to make it tonight. So our final award will be introduced by Dr. David Viola, and it's the PhD in Pharmaceutical Sciences Alumni Award.
Thanks, Skip. Well, it is truly a privilege to get to introduce Sam to you all this evening. Dr. Samuel Poliak graduated from the University of Pittsburgh in 1993 with a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy. Subsequently, he received a Doctor of Pharmacy and a PhD in Pharmaceutical Sciences from the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy. He has served as Dean and the James T. Dolucio Regents Chair at the University of Texas, Austin College of Pharmacy since October 2020. Before arriving at UT Austin, Sam served as Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Associate Dean for Graduate and Postdoctoral Programs at the University of Pittsburgh School of Pharmacy for many years, his alma mater. He has the exceptional ability of leveraging UT Austin Colleges of Pharmacy's strength as a national leader to advance pharmacy practice, education, and research. So this next sentence was prepared for me, and it's a little bit cliche, and I was going to alter it, but I decided not to because I know Sam's heart, and I know it's 100% true. Dr. Poliak is equally committed to training the next generation of outstanding pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists to become bold problem solvers, talented communicators, and leaders to revolutionize patient care and health outcomes, both in Texas and across the world. Skills he learned, no doubt, while here at UK. His research career is focused on determining the role of drug metabolizing enzymes in regulating brain blood flow and drug clearance in critically ill patients. His work has received many years of support from the National Institutes of Health and the American Heart Association, leading to over 115 peer-reviewed publications. He's a fellow of the Society of Critical Care Medicine and the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy Academic Leadership Program. And on a personal note, Sam has been a friend for quite a long time. He's one of the few people in this world that I rely on for advice and for guidance. He has vision like few others do when it comes to both professional and personal matters. We work together through AACP. We have over the past few years trying to support graduate education in our colleges of pharmacy, and it's been a huge privilege to be able to rely on Sam. Whenever we get stuck, we call Sam because he'll definitely be able to think deeper than any of us ever could. He's a true national leader, and I'm truly honored to be able to recognize him today. So please join me in recognizing the PhD Alumni Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, Dr. Samuel Poliak.
So what a wonderful evening. Thank you, David, for that wonderful introduction. This has been a very special night. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as my wife and I have. Being able to come here and meet so many of you, hear about the accomplishments of all of your awardees. I want to congratulate all of you on a special evening. This is a particularly special evening for us. So I want to thank David for the wonderful introduction. Thank you, Dean Kip Guy, for making tonight happen and for your outstanding leadership. I want to thank the selection committee, specifically, many of who are in the room. I think I may have earned a spot on the selection committee. I don't know if that's true or not, but I appreciate that opportunity in the future as well to carry on the legacy. Phil Mayer for the nomination, and I know letters of recommendation were provided by Bob Bluen, which I'll get to in a minute, and a dear friend and colleague, Phil Empey, who I've worked with for many years and had the opportunity to get to know, who's been a dear friend and colleague, as I mentioned, to be able to support the nomination. When I look at the names of individuals that are on this list of recipients and the individuals around the room, this is a humbling honor. To be able to have my name next to people I consider true thought leaders in pharmacy, I just really have the deepest appreciation. I'll go down the list. I would go down the list. I'm afraid I'll leave somebody out, but I know there are so many in this room, and if I do, forgive me. But Dawn Latender, Joe DePiro, Bob Bluen, Mary Anson, Dave Allen, Joe Fleischacher, Henry Mann, and so many others. And if I left so many others on there, please forgive me. But I have to also mention that Saul Stuchansky is on that list. He's UT alumni, and I actually go to breakfast with Saul now that I'm at Texas on a regular basis. So I had a chance to get the congratulations from him as well. And Phil Mayer for the nomination also on that list. So just seeing those names and having that opportunity is truly humbling. I want to thank my parents who I think are watching this from the cast as we speak right now. So really I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the foundation that they established. My father, John and Agnes Poliak, really, and my brother, John, my sister, Denise, Karen, and Helen, for the past 53 years of all the support. I'm just so appreciative. My father, just to give you a perspective, he built the foundation of purpose and really hard work ethic that came into whenever I really needed it. Whenever I was a teenager, one of my favorite quotes from my father was that, that there are only two things in life, results and excuses, and only one counts. And I think when I was a teenager, I thought it was excuses. But eventually realized that I've used that so many times. I've used that line for my graduate students and with many other students, to the point that I actually had one of my own students come back and tell me that that was my quote. As for my mother taught me also that hard work is part of her fabric as well, but have fun doing it. I'd rather my mom dancing in the kitchen and playing polkas every Sunday, and she worked very hard, but she always enjoyed it. So to this day at Texas, one of the things that I really try to espouse and promote is that we all work harder and get more done when we have fun doing it. And that is really one of the things that I hope permeates our college in the time that I've been in the leadership and hopefully into the future. I want to thank UK, my dissertation committee. I have many, Bob Bluen, Pat McNamara, Steve Shadlovsky, Jimmy Hatton, Pete Wedlin, and Jim Pauley. I picked a pretty tough committee. That was a pretty good lineup. They had a lot of good questions for me. One of my favorite memories from that time was Jim Pauley. I was very nervous before my comprehensive exam. I was prepared but wasn't sure. Jim Pauley walked down the hall and said, you might want to look up Susan Fagan's article. She writes really good review articles. Well, that was the hint. And of course, I went to the library at the time because I didn't have a cell phone and looked up all the articles by Susan Fagan. Lo and behold, 7 years later, I'm writing my first R01 grant, and I noticed that there was no critical care pharmacologists on the committee to review the grant, so I asked them to put somebody on there. I got the grant back, and I got a fundable score. It was the first grant I ever received as PI, and I looked at the people that they had invited, and lo and behold, there's Susan Fagan's name. I never met her. I don't know if she was my reviewer, but I actually wrote down the quote in the comments. There were a dearth of such studies where good biochemical assessments of the effects of drugs as well as pharmacokinetics are performed. It was part of the review in that funded grant. I'm pretty sure that was her quote. I don't know that for a fact. But that was paying forward the evaluation, and by chance of being able to have that expertise on that committee and have an appreciation for what expertise pharmacists bring to our profession. Try to emphasize that to all of our students. We have unique expertise that we can bring to our profession that we have to be proud of and we have to recognize for our future. And that was what was ingrained in me during my time with my committee. And that was really ingrained with Bob Lewin. I have to give a special thanks to Bob. Bob's not just been my PhD advisor, he's been a lifelong mentor. I could write a book on all the things that I've learned from Bob in leadership and management. Actually, Bob is writing a book right now. I'm not quite sure if I made the book. I'm not expecting much, just maybe a chapter or two. But I'd be curious to really hear about his leadership. But he's been a great mentor. He would always, when I walked into his office early on, I said, if I need to be as smart as, and I won't say the name of the individual, but I said, if I need to be as smart as that person to be successful, I might as well quit now. And I remember Bob saying to me, well, the good news is you don't have to be as smart as him. You just have to work harder. So Bob would also always say that it's not his job to motivate anybody. If you don't come through the door motivated, then I can't help you. And that was a very good fact, but it's kind of ironic because that very statement itself was motivating. So Bob was a motivator. He may not have considered you needed to come in self-motivated, but he instilled that self-motivation. And I'm so appreciative of the things that I've learned from Bob over the years of what it takes in order to be successful and the role model that he's served throughout my entire career. I will thank Pittsburgh as well. I have so many mentors there. Randy Jewell, Pat Croboth, Randy Smith, so many others, friends and colleagues. I mentioned Phil earlier, friends and colleagues that have really helped at that time. But one person in particular as well is Pat Gohanek. He's a physician in the Saffer Center for Resuscitation Research. And Pat ended up he picked up where Bob left off. Whenever I went to Pittsburgh, he was a physician that had no reason to care about the success of a young pharmacy faculty member who didn't know what he was doing at the time. But he invited me to a journal club, and I was around neurointensivists and neurological researchers that were the experts in the world. And I was out of my comfort zone, to say the least. Pat invited me, brought me along, was a mentor the entire time, reviewed every paper, reviewed every grant I ever submitted, and he really picked up that mentorship. So the lesson there, from my perspective, is wherever you're at in your career, you always have to have great people around you. Success doesn't come because of an individual. It becomes because of a team that achieves the goals together, and having mentors that are there to support you is so important. And last but not least, I have to thank my wife and my son. Sorry, give me a second. I promised not to do this. I said I wasn't going to, and here I am. But my wife's been there we've been married for over 30 years now. We had a chance to go back to our very first apartment complex, Shiloh apartment, which I got to thank my parents and her parents, Garland and Vicki Newcomb, for moving us in the trucks, in the vehicles down to that apartment many, many years ago. We had a chance to go by and see that, and we're going to go by tomorrow and see our first home because we actually bought a home while we're here. She supported me through graduate school. My son currently is a chemical engineer at Corning, and he made maybe the biolab supply products that you use today if you have doing any tissue culture work or pipetting work. That's his plant that he runs as a chemical engineer at Corning. Very proud of the accomplishments he's had. But I have to say that whenever we came to Kentucky, we had our young child. He spent his first 2.5 years here, and then we moved off to Pittsburgh for 21 years. And I have to bring up that everybody who's been a very good friend of mine has always asked me the same question at one point in time. They always ask me, how on earth does your wife put up with you? So I want to thank her for putting up with me for all of these years, but we did it together. All this is not possible without the support of my family, of my son, my wife, and all my family members I mentioned tonight. It's been a great honor. And the last thing I'll leave you with is that any accomplishment or any award is only relevant if you have friends, family, and colleagues to celebrate with. And that's the truth tonight. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for this award, and thank you for the opportunity to celebrate together.
Well, that will conclude our formal program. So let me start by saying congratulations to all of our preceptor and HODA inductees. Your influence in the college is important to us. You're living the legacy of this pretty incredible place, and we really appreciate you being part of our community and professing the view that we have of the world of pharmacy. I'm very happy to stand up here and acknowledge these contributions. Each of you individually has pushed forward your field, whether you're a few years out of school or, as Sam and I are, long enough that we probably are starting to think about what we're going to do next. So please know how much we appreciate what you've done for us and with us in your time here. So before we leave, I'm going to invite everybody to come up for photos. And then I just want to personally congratulate each and every one of you for these achievements. They're all well-deserved. And I'm enjoying, as Sam said, being here with you and watching you enjoy the moment. So thank you for joining us tonight.